I'm building a stock portfolio that will pay me dividends for the rest of my life. The goal is to reach $3,000 per month only from dividends. You can follow my journey and see what are the stocks that I'm buying every month, and you can also learn the method that helps me choose the stocks. Right now I'm getting $150 of dividends every month, though this only reflects the actual state of my investment portfolio, because this payment is growing every month, as you can see it from this picture. I own about 30 dividend paying stocks, and each company pays dividends in a different month. So as you can see, some of the months I get less, some of the months I get more dividends, but the monthly average is about $150 right now. I'm buying new dividend paying stocks every month, and obviously the more stocks I have, the more dividends I will receive. And I'm also reinvesting the dividends, so I buy new shares from the money I get from the companies, and this is also accelerating the growth of my investment portfolio. So obviously I haven't reached my goal yet, but this is why I'm sharing with you how I will reach the 3,000 monthly income from dividends. So let's talk about what kind of companies I'm looking for. Dividend investing is not about buying any company that pays dividends. I have an 8-step process to filter the best stocks, and I will talk more about this process later, but let's see some of the criteria in my stock picking. First of all, I only buy US companies. And this is important if you are building a dividend income portfolio, because US companies have a very different dividend policy than companies in other countries. More precisely, in the US, there are companies that raise their dividends for decades. And also, I only buy dividend-paying companies. It's important to know that not all companies pay dividends. For example, if you buy Tesla, Amazon, or Facebook stocks, they don't pay dividends. But as I said earlier, it's not just about buying any company that pays dividends. There are certain companies that we call dividend growth companies. These are companies that have a strong commitment to paying and raising their dividends. For example, take a look at the dividends of Coca-Cola. You can see that they are raising their dividends every year for a very long time. If I see a dividend history like this, I'm very confident that the management of this company will do their best to keep raising their dividends. Now, before you run to buy some shares of Coca-Cola, this is only one of the 8 criteria of my stock selection. In fact, I do not buy Coca-Cola and I do not own any Coca-Cola stock in my portfolio. This is only an example to show how a dividend growth company pays dividends. Now, let's take a look at the dividend history of another company. It's a company called Credit Suisse from Switzerland. As you can see from the picture, you cannot plan a dividend income portfolio with this company because their dividend payments are unpredictable. I'm not saying that buying the stock of this company is a bad investment decision, it's just that European companies have a very different dividend policy. Another thing that is important for me when I'm looking for companies is that I only buy quality companies. Of course, quality can mean a lot of things, but what I'm looking for is companies that have a stable business, and therefore it's highly unlikely that they will cut their dividends. So, for example, if I look at a company that has a decrease in revenue for years, that is not a good sign, because that means that the company is not growing. So therefore they will probably need to cut back their dividend in the future. Because if you think about it, where does the dividend comes from? It comes from the money the company makes. So if the company is making fewer and fewer revenue, less money, then it's obvious that they can't pay the dividends in the future. And then I only buy companies that are undervalued. This is extremely important, probably one of the most important things in investing, because you can buy a great company and lose money if you pay too much. So valuation is one of the most important aspects of an investment.